Welcome to the 14th Southwest Ohio GiveCamp. So this is the 12th one here in Miami. We had to do some weird arrangements during COVID, but it's the 14th Southwest Ohio GiveCamp. So what we always like to start with is, first of all, how many people was this their first time here? That's most people this time. All right, I know some have been here way longer than that. So how many people will go have been here to at least 5 GiveCamps? John, you've been here more than 5. How about 10? 11? 12? 13? 14? Mike's been all 14, or Matt's been all 14, so is Mike. So the board of directors for GiveCamp is Matt Brewer, who was out checking everybody in, Jason Roby, who's standing back there, myself, and Mike Theron, who was here, and we told him to go to urgent care because his hand was bleeding from his cat biting him before he left. So he'll hopefully be back later, but we said you should get that checked. Our organizing committee, we have 8 people organizing. A couple people couldn't be here this weekend. Matt Brewer, David DeLello is not around this weekend. Laura Bachmeyer is running around out here. Dan Patterson, I'm not sure if he's going to make it or not. Angie is the one that does most of the food organizing and stuff. Jason, myself, and then Mike Theron. So Southwest Ohio GiveCamp is a part of Pay It Forward Cincinnati. That's how we get our nonprofit status. That we run the event through them to get the nonprofit status. Previous years, years ago, we used a different organization, but we probably used Pay It Forward Cincinnati for, I'm guessing, about the last 10 years or so to be able to run this event, to do our nonprofit information. So the question we get most often is, how do you do this? How do you have the facility to do this? How do you do all the food all weekend, everything else and stuff? We do it from sponsors, and many of these are longtime sponsors that have been around. Engaged partners, and then their employees also make donations to it, so we get sponsorship that way. Pinnacle Solutions, Booz Allen. We have a new sponsor this year called Pieces for Developers that actually sponsored to pay for all the dinner tonight. And then Burke has been a long-time sponsor as well. So Miami University we also have to thank, because Miami does a good job of doing the best they can to accommodate. Like I said, this is the 12th time we've been here. We would have been here 14 times if we could, but didn't work out with COVID years. So they do a good job of helping us out, giving us all the facilities we need. It's a very nice facility, have usually good internet access and things like that. So we spent a lot of time trying to find a facility 14 years ago, and we've been here since we started. So it's been a good partnership. Most of the volunteers should have received an invitation already to join the team site. If you do not have one, there's a QR code, and we'll be around later. If you can't get in, stop in the command center, which I'll show you the map later, and someone will get you connected to the team site. If you've been here before, it should be there, and I'll lift that up since a few people are scanning that now. Back later if you need to get that. Try to keep the communications in teams, because it's a way for us organizers to help monitor things and make sure things are going well. There's a Teams channel as 2023 GiveCamp. I'm not sure if we had fall or not this time. It might just say 2023 GiveCamp. There's also a channel set up for each project. And then there's a board already set up in each project too, if you want to use that to plan your tasks out in the board on there. And there's a whiteboard tab as well. If you need to get ahead of organizers and you can't find us, tag it with @organizers, and it'll go to all of us. So then whoever's available and checking that out. And this goes for when you're here on site, and then also if you're working at home Saturday night or something, because I'll go through the schedule here on the next slide. If you need help that time, send that to @organizers if you have a question, and then we can, whoever's monitoring at that time can get a hold of you. So schedule. We already crossed through registration. We're at the kickoff. Immediately after the kickoff, approximately 6:45, we'll do team selection. Then we'll do a quick group picture in this room while we have most people together. Dinner, hopefully by that time, will be set up outside, and we can pick up dinner as we go by, and then start work down at the end of the hall. We're going to have team lead stand-ups like we have in the past. The first one will be at 9 o'clock tonight to see everyone checks in. We'll see where things go with that. We'll probably have one more tonight before everybody leaves to make sure where things are, but we'll set schedule from there based on how things are going and where things are. We'll start the first one at 9 o'clock tonight. 11:30, development ends. Unlike previous years, because of expenses and security guards and everything else, we have more limited hours here. It gets a little less every year. So we have to be out of the building by midnight. So 11:30, we're going to try everyone to leave so we can make sure everything is cleaned up and set up so the security guard and they can lock up the building and get out of here by midnight.
It doesn't mean you have to stop working though. You want to work all night. Remote's an option. So. And I say that, a lot of people are new, but we used to work all night until Saturday at midnight. So
right.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you have to stop working.
Correct. We used the first couple of years, well, the first year we didn't close at all from the time we opened until then. Then it was all night Friday night until midnight on Saturday. And by that time we figured out, there's Mike. So, unlike other years, if you've been here before, the building will not open until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning instead of 8. So we'll have breakfast approximately 9:30. We're going to make pancakes and stuff like that in the morning like they have in the past. Well, much like the nonprofits that were on the call with me about a week and a half ago, we talked about this, much like the team lead stand-ups, we're going to have a few stand-ups with the nonprofits to see what their side of the project, what they view and what out they think it's going. The first one of those will be at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then we'll figure out a schedule for the others after that based on where we need to go. Lunch will be approximately 12 or 1, somewhere in there. And then, oh sorry, I looked the wrong day. Sorry, lunch is 1 o'clock, as I was saying, I thought it was supposed to be 1 o'clock. Lunch is 1 o'clock, and then we have to be out of here by 5. So 4:30, we're asking people to clean up so we can be out of here by 5 tomorrow. And then, by all means, we encourage people, if you need to work at home tomorrow night. That's why I said, if you need to hold people ahead of time, then reach out to us on Teams and stuff, and we can do that. Now, Sunday, we'll reopen at 9 again. Breakfast will be 9:30. Nonprofit stand-up. We have 11 now, but based on what we talked to people, we may change that. I have listed nonprofit training as just AM. This goes for teams and nonprofits, just be aware. Make sure you provide training. Ideally, provide training as much as possible as you go for the weekend, but we have it as a placeholder for nonprofit training to be sometime Sunday morning, just because it's a good time that the project's usually in a pretty good state by that point in time, and it's a little slower by Sunday morning, except for some teams who may be panicking, but try to get training scheduled at some point on Sunday, whatever is convenient for the team lead and a nonprofit. We'll have pizza for lunch. And then closing, this also is a change, we'll start at 2. Previous years we did it at 3, so we have an hour less of development than we did in the past. So we're going to start closing at 2 o'clock on Sunday. Any questions on the schedule from anybody? All right. So, some rules from Miami. Miami is a tobacco-free campus. That means nowhere on the grounds, not just in the building, nowhere on the grounds. And it includes e-cigarettes. The building is limited access at night, but it's easier because we're not staying overnight now. So just make sure you have the lanyards on. I don't think they're going to lock the front door because the security guard is going to be there sitting at the desk all night until we leave at midnight. So just make sure you have, if you have to go out to your car or something, have your lanyard on so that way you recognize you're here for this event. And then please clean up yourselves as much as possible. And part of why Miami, they don't run near as many events as they did in the past when they did this. We still get to come every year, or as far as we know, because we do a good job of putting things back, taking care of things, cleaning things up, etc. sort of thing. So help us out with that as much as possible. Some logistical items. Team leads, I mentioned the first one is going to be at 9 tonight. We have approximately every 2 hours, but it'll just end up being how things are going. They adjust throughout the weekend. If you have something that they need, a lot of this, we have this discussion in the team leads. We created a job list or a job board saying this team needs help with this, and we try to shuffle people around and stuff like that. If you're leaving for the weekend, but you could come back and help later or something, or leaving for the day, I'm sorry, and come back later, let us know. We'll make note of that, have a call me list sort of thing, that if somebody needs help with this, we'll call this person and see if they can come back and help with it or whatever sort of thing. Just let us know what's going on with that. If you have any special dietary needs, let us know. We try to accommodate as much as we can, but it's a smaller group, so it's a little easier now than we had 120, 130 people about 5, 6, 7 years ago. It was a lot harder to accommodate everybody, but we'll try to do what we can. So with that, we're going to go through the main point of this opening is to everyone hear what the projects are, hear about the nonprofits, what they are, because like I said earlier, at 6:45 or approximately then, we'll have everybody select their teams. So if you're a volunteer and you're here for the first time, as a lot of you are, listen to what the projects are, listen to what technologies they have, what the mission is of the nonprofits, because a lot of people we found are more successful and enjoy the weekend a whole lot more if they're doing a project that interests them. So the idea of the kickoff is for you guys to learn about the projects and the nonprofits to be able to help with your team selection sort of thing. So with that, we'll start with the African American Visual Arts Guild. So they're going to come up and give a 3-4 minute discussion of what the mission is, and then the team lead will also describe what the project is. So.
Good evening, everyone, and I'd like to start by saying thank you to the GiveCamp for the opportunity to be here this weekend. We have 2 of our team members with us, Clifford Derrick and Cedric McKee. I'm Gregory Freeman. I am the president of the trustees board. The African American Visual, I want to thank you as well for all the assistance you've been giving us too, Brandon. All right. The African American Visual Artists Guild is an organization, nonprofit, to assist artists with their development and growth as an artist. So we are a place for artists of all genres, of all backgrounds, to come and explore and develop their art forms. We provide a space in our gallery for artists to exhibit their work. We host national artist exhibitions, and we also provide education and programming for the community. So we have been in existence since around 1992, a little bit over 30 years, and we're hoping to grow and develop in terms of our membership status, and also to make our website more friendly for the user to come in and browse and take care of some of the needs that they may have and that we offer as an organization, such as membership, making payments for artwork, that sort of thing. So that's what I have to say.
So, as he said, we're going to be updating the website. We're going to move from a static HTML, CSS, Bootstrap site to a WordPress site so that they can easily manage the content and update it. We want to move what's currently a PDF form to an online form, to also accept payments with PayPal, to handle the membership status, and kind of e-commerce things so people could go in and manage buying artwork and anything else that they may offer as product.
Next up, we have Discover Classical.
Hi, I'm Adam Alonso. Just going to bring up the logo. And I work at Discover Classical. We are a classical music radio station in Dayton, and we provide classical music programming around the clock. We also are involved in promoting organizations, performing arts organizations, mostly in the Dayton area. Also nonprofits through public service announcements. We help to get word out about each of those organizations. We work closely with young musicians in the area, providing them with instruments. If they want to learn to play the trumpet, we match them with somebody who is ready to donate a trumpet. We give them performance opportunities as they are starting their music careers. So we provide, as I said, classical music 24 hours a day. And on the website of the station, we provide information about that music because people want to know, what am I hearing? Who wrote it? What's the title? Who's the composer? Who are the performers? And so on our website, there's this big list of individual programs where there's information about each program. And so during this weekend's GiveCamp, what we want to do is to revise the website. If you look on the left, you see before. If you look on the right, you see after. That's weird. It's not very much different, is it? So it's not so much the content. The content is already being provided for our music programs. Next one, please. Here's the before and after that really counts. I am the web team at Discover Classical. The three of us maintain the entire website, these two guys and me. And so on the left, it's our current situation where all of those individual programs, their web pages are maintained manually through labor-intensive processes like typing. Remember typing? Copy, paste, in anticipation of a broadcast. And then when the broadcast is over, I then delete. And with like 17 different pages like this, I'm constantly doing that just about every day. So one more slide. And so this will give you an artist's conception of what we want to do is just to generate a database-driven system where that program information appears automatically on a certain day and disappears automatically.
So this is pretty much a static HTML site, but there's a couple of dynamic elements. There's even some ASP pages, classic ASP pages.
Don't say that.
Sorry, I promise not to say that. There it is. But we do have access to a MySQL database, and PHP is running on the site, so this is going to be a PHP project, but it's not going to be a WordPress project. We're going to have, there's going to be a little bit of a UI element, but it's for Atom. It's not for the general public. So it's more back-end development, and just so that Atom doesn't have to manually go in and update these pages, which just sounds dreadful to me. So anyway, that's the project.
So the next project is a little different one. So Bernard can come up here and talk about it a little bit too. So Greater Dayton Volunteer Lawyers Project. We read their application, selected it for them. We all thought it was way more complicated and different than we apparently thought it was. The other part is their nonprofit representative came down with COVID yesterday or the day before, so she can't be here. But Bernard's been talking to her and has a solution that he pretty much already has worked out, so we don't need to do this project. So you want to give it background?
Sure. So in Dayton, there are, from what I gather from Summer Hawks, who is the organizer of this nonprofit, a group of lawyers who volunteer on a regular basis in community spaces, something like, say, a cafe, a library, that sort of thing. And they advertise, so people know that they can come in at that time, and the lawyers have to access certain forms that they need, legal forms, to address the client's situation, the client who is the person in poverty that needs legal advice. Once the lawyer and the client sit down, the lawyer fills out the form is then printed, and a legal process begins. So this is exactly what she needed. She just needed a way to have forms, PDF files, accessible to volunteer lawyers who are bringing in their firm laptops and therefore cannot access G Drive, and publicly cloud drive sort of things, because the firm laptops have, administrative policies in place to prevent that. That's all she needed, was a way to access files. And so that was resolved by creating a GitHub account for her. And the other thing she needed was a way for her to print, the lawyers to print the files once they were done typing them. And so I showed her how to share a Windows printer onto the local network, and that was the resolution of the problem. That took all of 3 minutes, by the way.
So, as Bernard said, their application was unbelievably thorough and really well written because lawyers wrote it, but all of us thought it was way more complicated than that. So, this is the first in 14 years. We've never had one done before GiveCamp started. All right, next up we have Ignite Peace.
Hi, everybody. Wow, that's loud. My name is Samantha Searles. My pronouns are she and her, and I am a program director at Ignite Peace. We actually just rebranded ourselves. For 37 years, we were known as the Intercommunity Justice and Peace Center, which is a mouthful, which is why we rebranded. And people got our acronym IJPC wrong all the time, and this really encapsulates what we're all about. So our mission is to educate and advocate for peace, to challenge unjust systems, and to promote the creation of a non-violent society. So that's kind of a wishy-washy way to say that we educate people in the community about issues that are affecting everyday people. And then we give them tools and skills and training and opportunities to take action on those campaigns. What makes us unique is we see things through a lens of nonviolence education. Everything we do is with that philosophy. We teach people how to do conflict resolution and nonviolent communication, but we also have a anti-racism framework as well, and really want to call out that issue in our society. And so to focus our energy, we are working within the spheres of criminal justice and immigration justice. And basically what we do is we talk about how these two systems affect local people. And to do that, you need to tell stories. And so our project here at GiveCamp is a way for us to collect stories from the public that we can then use in our educational efforts and in our advocacy efforts. And let me tell you how important stories are. We heard from one of our youth leaders that when she went to go get her driver's license, when she turned 16, she was turned away. And we found out the reason she was turned away is because her mother was an undocumented immigrant and didn't have a government-issued ID to sign the paperwork as her guardian. And we said, that's not right. This child was born in the United States and has the right to drive just like every other teenager. And so we talked to more people and we heard that yes, this has been happening for years. So we gathered all those stories up, actually in a class action lawsuit against the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles, and we won. So that means that every 16 and 17-year-old in the state of Ohio can now get their driver's license regardless of their parents' immigration status. This is their story. And so that's the importance of a story. And right now, in order to collect those stories, it's kind of by luck, and we want to do it more systematically. We want the tool to be understandable for folks who don't speak English. So specifically within our immigration justice world, we work a lot with Central Americans, so our tool needs to be in Spanish. It also needs to be in French. We have a lot of West African folks from Mauritania and Senegal that work with our organization. We also have a lot of folks who are more seasoned in years, who have spent their retirement volunteering, that are technology adverse and need things very simplified and understand. So it's a tool for folks to share their stories, whether that be a video, an audio file, something you can record in-app. But it will reach thousands of people and create real and lasting change for our community. And then I want to introduce Julie, our team lead.
Hey, thanks, Samantha. So their website is in WordPress, and so the app or site or application or whatever will need to work within that website. It will be, they want a way to, so that a user could hopefully record directly within the web application and then have the file upload directly to their backend database somewhere. so that they can keep the files. They would be audio files, video files, potential text files as well, and in the 3 languages she mentioned, as well as possible language around helping to record a video or audio in those languages. So, yeah, that should be it. Thank you.
All right, so next up is Santa Maria, and they have a video we'll play first, and then they'll come up and speak for a little bit after that. Video worked a minute ago, but it's not right now. There we go.
Santa Maria Community Services was founded in 1897 by the Sisters of Charity. These 2 biological sisters came to Cincinnati to help support Italian immigrants that found their way to the community. Today, we still are immigrant focused, but we do help any family that is in need of support and self-sufficiency. The mission of Santa Maria is to be a catalyst and advocate for greater Paisel families to attain their educational, financial, and health goals. The way I like to think of this motto is with the old proverb of, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man a fish, he will eat for a lifetime. Santa Maria Community Services helps families achieve self-sufficiency through educational, health, and wellness initiatives, like POP, promoting our preschoolers, which helps children be kindergarten ready, GED courses for young adults who never finished high school, or adult training on health, wellness, and financial literacy. All of these initiatives are things that make lasting impact to those we serve and help them achieve their goals of self-sufficiency and upward mobility, as we believe this is the best way to make meaningful, long-lasting change. This is what we mean by helping families help themselves.
Example, I have one. The first page, people coming for Santa Maria help and home. Help the diaper and how you sleep the baby. And after that, 1 month rent house. Give the card for student the first time school. Santa Maria for me is like my son. God bless you. It's not only for me, for a lot of people.
Pues diría que bien porque me han salido a responder a veces a las solicitudes que ando preguntando y en lo personal me han ayudado cuando he necesitado y pues me siento agradecida por eso.
The Santa Maria team builds the trust and the relationships with the program participants to ensure that it's long-lasting. It's not just a one and done. They know how the kiddos are growing, they know how the family's changing, and the impact that we've had does continue to carry on outside of their graduating our programs.
Families that come to us for help, we don't have a lot of restrictions or questions we have to ask or hoops they have to jump through to get help. We're just here right in the community, able to help people with whatever it is that they're dealing with.
Everybody has that deep desire to do as much as they can. We're all there to make Priceville a better community, to improve the lives of others. It's genuinely a team effort, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Beyond our yearly impact, we're looking ahead to something big. Our current buildings are old, cramped, and in need of repair. Some are up to 2 miles apart. Many of our program participants face challenges related to transportation and other barriers in accessing essential services, which can lead to missed appointments and disengagement. Our solution is simple: one building, thriving families, placing all of our services under one roof. Donor support is the lifeblood of our organization and has a tremendous impact on children, youth, young adults, and families. There are many ways to get involved. You can go to our website at santamaria-cincy.org and learn more about Santa Maria Community Services and donate your time, talent, and or your treasure. Thank you for your support of Santa Maria Community Services.
I'm Christy Colley with Santa Maria, and the video pretty much told you everything. We don't have an elevator speech because we have so many programs, but just super quick before I give you over to Braley, as Guillermo said, you can go to our website. You'll be completely lost and totally confused and not know what to click on. So I think Braley and her team are going to do a great job of, right when you come in, it's going to say donor, client, just better ways to direct people. But we have programs from all the way from zygote to over 100. So we have early childhood, young childhood development programs, like he said, GED, educational programs, financial programs. We have stable families programs for people who are on the verge of homelessness. And we also have, for all of those, and we are still immigrant focused, and just like Ignite Peace, a lot of our people speak Spanish. There are a lot, the woman in the video, she was from, I think, Eritrea, which is Africa. So we have a lot of West African families, a lot of Central American families, and we do have bilingual staff. I unfortunately am not one of them, but that's another thing we'd like on the website, easily translated. Right now we have one Spanish page, which just won't do, but just Brandon.
Yeah, so basically we're going to be working on like just a very big revamp of what the website looks like, making it easier to navigate, making it easier to donate, to volunteer, to do anything that we need to do. So anybody who is really good at designing, please come join my team. And we'll also be looking at using some plugins to do some translation, like Christy just said, and then as a stretch goal, just in case anyone has super interest in this, anything that we could do to potentially make a place on the website where people can securely upload documents, IDs and stuff as they are asking for help would be, it's like a big stretch goal potentially that we could do for the weekend. So if you have any interest in doing something like that, you can also come join my team. So.
All right, so our last nonprofit is Wave Foundation.
I actually have a speech. All right, so I'm Kristen Woods. I am the Community Engagement Manager with Wave Foundation at Newport Aquarium, and I'm joined here by my colleague, Julie Uffman. She is our Operations Manager with Wave Foundation, and we are the nonprofit partner of the Newport Aquarium, and this November will mark our 25th year. So we are on a mission to foster environmental stewards of aquatic life through education, conservation, and volunteerism. So what we do best is we expand the footprint of the Newport Aquarium, and we offer programming outside of the aquarium through outreach programs. So we bring a lot of those aquatic animals like penguins, sharks, stingrays, and even some tide pool animals and reptiles into the classrooms so that children who maybe can't get to the aquarium or don't have that opportunity can still learn about those animals and their environments and learn to be those conservation stewards at a young age. We also support local, national, and international conservation initiatives. We do this locally with our river sweep, but we also are part of a larger organization called the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. And we really need help with our website because we are doing our 25th year. We're trying to do a big bang here, and basically we need a WordPress website just like everybody else. So we need a new vibrant WordPress website with an easy to navigate menu, a user-friendly storefront for some of our awesome merch, which would definitely elevate our fantastic organization. So we like our aquatic puns here. We have free wave merch for anyone who wants to join our team, so big brag there. And being able to manage the website completely in-house will just help us to save money and really get our mission out to a broader audience. So our Team is going to have the most fun this weekend, I guarantee it. And that's in part because our team lead is Chris Jackson. He's pretty awesome. He has a really cool beard, and I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to him.
Hopefully my beard doesn't get in the way of the microphone. No? Okay, cool. Yeah, we're going to do a WordPress site. They have one, an existing one that is pretty decent. They are kind of under a contract right now, so they're trying to get out from underneath that and get something that they can manage themselves. So simplify, use plugins, make it pretty. We need some WordPress experienced folks and some design focused folks.
All right, so a few other housekeeping things quickly. If you were here last year, which some of you were not, obviously, a lot of them are new, everything for working after this opening will be out in the far, as I'm facing left, your right. There's 2 classrooms on the end, that teams are assigned to those. And then we have a room right next to that where the organizers will be, so we have questions, that's where we'll have the stand-ups and that sort of thing as well. And snacks and drinks and all that stuff are down there on that end too, so we'll stay on that end of the building most of the rest of the weekend. Some lessons learned from previous GiveCamp. So we always like to say that we operate by the Las Vegas rule. What happens at GiveCamp stays at GiveCamp. The idea is that the volunteers are volunteering their time for this weekend. They're not volunteering to be committed to your nonprofits for the rest of eternity sort of thing. Some of them choose to help later on, and we encourage that, but it's the volunteer's choice to help you after that sort of thing. So that's why we say what happens at GiveCamp stays at GiveCamp. Some projects in the past, I emphasized this earlier, have been wasted because of not having proper training. So team leads, make sure you provide that training because everybody's working hard this weekend to get things done. Nonprofits, make sure you get that training so that way you can maintain and use these applications after you leave here. The other thing we've always learned is have it deployable early and often. Things happen. We had a nonprofit representative end up getting COVID 2 days ago. Something could happen like that. We've had funerals from families over 14 years with a whole lot of nonprofits. We've had all kind of random things done. So try to get something that is deployable and usable as early as often and just keep improving on that throughout the weekend. And then there's always some downtime. You're waiting for things to install, you're waiting for things to download or something like that. Check around with the people in your team. We tried to put the 3 groups that are primarily going to be doing WordPress in the same room together so they can help each other out, and the other groups aren't necessarily doing WordPress or in the other room. So even if they're not in your room, check in the other room, check back with us, the organizers, to see if there's something you can help. So